Quote, when an act gives rise to something that had no entity before it, that is a property of marriage. There is no act that doesn't give rise to something in accordance with its own reality and way. Hence, marriage is a root of all things. Hence, it possesses all-encompassingness, excellence, and priority. Hi, I'm Angga Rifka. It's still interesting to discuss Ibn Arabi's view of marriage in all aspects of the reality in this video. If you like what I do, please like, share my videos, and subscribe this small channel. This small channel is not monetized. You can help me out monetarily, be it PayPal or Patreon, but no pressure to do that. Just take care of yourself first. Ibn Arabi wrote a lost book titled The Book on the Pervasive Marriage Act in All Atoms. It is evident that Ibn Arabi extensively explores the concept of marriage or sexual intercourse not solely as a human occurrence, but as a universal force of productivity that exists at every level of existence. In a broader sense, he perceives marriage as a reality that demonstrates specific characteristics in all aspects of existence. In one of his Futuhat chapters, Ibn Arabi explores, quote, this chapter deals with the knowledge of reproduction and procreation. It is one of the sciences connected to engendered things. Its root is found in the divine science. First, we will explain to you its form among the engendered things, and then we will make it manifest to you in the divine science. The root of every science is found in the divine knowledge, since everything other than God derives from God. God says, He has subjugated to you what is in the heavens and what is in the earth, all together from Him. The science of interpenetration permeates all things. It is the science of conjunction and marriage. It has three kinds: sensory, suprasensory, and divine. Sensory conjunction refers to the sexual activity observed among animals. On the other hand, suprasensory conjunction relates to the realm of concepts or ideas and can be seen in the process of reasoning, where two premises come together to produce a conclusion. Moreover, Ibn Arabi suggests that the cosmological marriage is not limited to the physical realm but extends to all levels of existence. It encompasses the realms of the soul, intellect, and spiritual dimensions. The marriage is not confined to human beings alone, but includes all beings in the cosmos, each playing a unique role in the divine symphony. At the divine level, Ibn Arabi asserts that God is the root of marriage act. Divine marriage occurs when God brings something into existence, and the non-existent thing represented as male and female, and the resulting existent thing symbolizing the child born from their union. Indeed, Ibn Arabi's philosophical view of cosmological marriage is a metaphorical concept that he developed to explain the relationship between God and the created cosmos. It is an idea deeply rooted in his understanding of the nature of existence and the divine unity. According to Ibn Arabi, the whole cosmos is a manifestation of God's attributes and qualities. It is not a separate entity or a distinct reality, but rather a reflection and extension of the divine reality. In this framework, the concept of cosmological marriage represents the union between the transcendent God and the immanent cosmos. Ibn Arabi describes this union as a divine marriage or mystical wedding, where God and creation are seen as inseparable partners. Just as marriage is a union between two individuals who become intimately connected and share their lives, Ibn Arabi suggests that the divine and the created are intimately intertwined. Quote, the first of the high fathers is manifestly clear. The first of the low mothers is the thingness of the non-existent possible things. The first marriage is the intention of the command given to the non-existent thing, that is, be or kun. The first child is the existence of the entity of that thingness. The exploration of the original divine marriage centers around the nature of non-existent things, also known as permanent entities, as known by God for eternity. In God's knowledge, these permanent entities do not exist in and of themselves. Only when God grants them existence do they enter the cosmos for their predetermined existence. In this context, God, as the undifferentiated wujud, represents the Father. Note that Ibn Arabi uses the term Father as a metaphorical term to express the very quality of ontological Father, which has an active and effective connotation. Ibn Arabi alludes to the encompassing and supreme name that is followed by all other names, which refers to the all-pervading First Father, namely Allah, denoting Al-Haq. The mother represents the non-existent things, and the creatures that come into existence are their offspring or children. Fathers are considered high due to being the very essence of wujud, the origin of all realities. Conversely, the mother is considered low as she lacks independent existence, serving as a pure vessel for the perfection bestowed by the Father. Ibn Arabi uses the term thingness to refer to the states of these permanent entities in God's knowledge. This term is derived from various verses in the Quran that mention the things existing before God creates them, such as the first quoted by Ibn Arabi in this passage. Quote, "This Father is all-pervasive in fatherness, this Mother all-pervasive in motherness, and this marriage all-pervasive in all things." The result is continuous. It is never cut off for anything whose entity is manifest. This is what we call the marriage that pervades all atoms. As evidence for what we said, God says, "Our word unto a thing, when we desire it, is only to say it be, and it is." In this metaphorical understanding, the cosmos is viewed as the bride, representing the receptive and manifest aspects of reality. It is receptive to the divine presence and seeks union with Al-Haq. On the other hand, Al-Haq is the bridegroom, symbolizing the transcendence and active aspects of reality. Al-Haq bestows existence and continuously sustains and interacts with the cosmos. The cosmological marriage signifies the divine for the self-manifestation and self-realization. Through the marriage, the divine attributes and qualities become manifest in the created world. It is a dynamic and ongoing process where the whole cosmos continuously seeks to manifest and reflect the divine perfection. The divine marriage described here is an ongoing and perpetual union. Consequently, the celebration of this marriage is also continuous. The guests attending the joyous wedding festivities are represented by the divine names. These divine names find delight in the realization that their attributes are manifested within the cosmos through this divine marriage. Divine marriage occurred since God desired to be known. A popular hadith Qudsi in Sufi world states, "I was a hidden treasure, I loved to be known, hence I created the world so that I would be known." Without this sacred union, the hidden treasure representing the divine essence or that would remain concealed and unknown. In other words, it is through this marriage that divine name qualities and attributes find expression and manifestation in the world. Quote, "The divine marriage act is the attentiveness of Al-Haq toward the possible thing in the presence of possibility through the desire of love. The entity of the possible thing is named wife. The attentiveness through desire and love is called the marriage act, and producing the result is called the bestowal of wujud upon the entity of the possible thing. The wedding feasts are the rejoicing of the most beautiful names, for the marriage results in a bestowal of manifested existence upon the entities of the possible things in order that the effects of the names may become manifest. This marriage is constant and continuous in existence. There can be no cessation or divorce in this marriage contract." Ibn Arabi's discussion revolves around the concept of different levels of marriage, which are metaphorical unions that explain the relationship between different aspects of existence. Following the explanation of Sadruddin Qunawi, one of the first disciples of Ibn Arabi, cosmological marriage in ontological fact takes place at every level of existence. The first marriage relates to the level of the divine essence, or that which can be understood through fundamental names known as the keys to the unseen. These keys, mentioned in the Quranic verse, "With him are the keys to the unseen, none knows them but he," serve as instruments for unlocking and opening the locked door of the divine essence. Through these keys, the divine essence establishes significant relationships with cosmos. This marriage signifies the divine essence's turn toward the original names that serve as keys to the unseen and the presence of engendered existence. These keys play a crucial role in opening up the created world and the cosmos, without which there would be nothing but God. In this marriage, the bridegroom, representing sheer being, impregnates the bride, symbolizing the keys to the unseen. Wujud in itself is non-entified and non-delimited, without any specific name attributed to it. However, Wujud, when delimited and defined by the keys to the unseen, establishes the universal parameters of existence. Child born from this marriage is the breath of the All-Merciful, a divine exhalation within which all created things come into existence as words. The first child is also referred to as the word of meanings, representing the realm of divine names, permanent entities, and the divine knowledge that knows things before they are brought into existence. The second marriage is of a spiritual nature. It signifies the union of active and receptive meanings within the word of meanings, resulting in the birth of spiritual realities that reside in the vast created world. The meanings that embody the influence and activity of the keys to the unseen are referred to as the properties of necessity. They represent the essential qualities of the absolute being. On the other hand, there are meanings that are receptive to these active meanings, known as the properties of possibility. This distinction at the level of meanings aligns with the terms the oneness of being and the manyness of knowledge, representing the properties of necessity and possibility respectively. These meanings give rise to spiritual realities, including intellects, souls, and angels, which serve as mirrors reflecting the qualities of their parent meanings. The third marriage is commonly referred to as the natural or imaginal marriage. In Ibn Arabi's technical terms, nature encompasses the entirety of existence, extending from the spiritual realm to encompass the imaginal world and the material or physical world. The marriage in question occurs when certain elevated spirits direct the focus toward the realm of nature. The children of this union are angelic beings who reside in the spiritual heavens, that is the imaginal world. The fourth marriage concerns the realm of the low and elemental world. It signifies the union that occurs among the basic material realities influenced by the heavenly and spiritual realms. The outcome of this union is the creation of composite physical entities such as minerals, plants, and animals. Each of the three subsequent levels of marriage emerges from the activities of the levels preceding it. Consequently, each lower level becomes more limited and confined compared to the higher levels. As for the first level, Qunawi explains that there is no distinct level of marriage except for the intelligible reality of the convergence of all the preceding levels. This convergence exclusively applies to human beings who, as microcosm, encompass within their existence all the levels of marriage. Thus, humans themselves embody a marriage or conjunction of all realities. While there is no fifth level of marriage, Qunawi mentions that the intelligible reality of all the levels coming together is exclusive to human beings. Human beings as microcosms bring together all the levels of marriage within themselves, reflecting the full range of realities. Qunawi primarily explores these marriages to elucidate the essence of human perfection, which is synonymous with the complete manifestation of Wujud. At each level of these marriages, varying children are born. Certain children encompass a broader scope and possess distinct characteristics depending on how the parents interrelate at each level. The concept of cosmological marriage emphasizes the interdependence and unity of all existence. It highlights the divine presence in every aspect of creation and encourages a deep recognition of the inherent divinity within the cosmos. It's important to note that the concept of cosmological marriage is a metaphorical framework used by Ibn Arabi to convey profound spiritual insights and the nature of reality. It should be understood symbolically, not as a literal marital relationship or literal sexual intercourse. That's the bottom line. Thank you so much for watching.